What's going on, fam? You are rocking with me here on the Dr. Eric K. Coleman Show. We are in the month of November as we continue this conversation concerning thankfulness for relationships. Before we jump into the clip for today, please, ma'am, please, sir, do me the solid of the housekeeping item of the day. Like, share, but most of all, please subscribe to the channel so that you will be up to date with everything that is pertaining to this platform. The clip for today, we're going to be looking at a YouTube channel here dealing with a Jessica and Ahmad, and they're going to be talking about appreciating each other in relationships. So if you have not gotten the book, here it is right there, Paradigm: Thinking Differently About Relationships. It is available on Amazon. I promise you it will bless your life. Your boy just got invited over the past couple of days to potentially speak at a national conference. So I'm super excited about that, to where I'll be talking about specifically this topic of discussion concerning how people engage and show up in relationships. More so, this is going to be on a level concerning leadership and how people interact with their team members, their direct reports, and how to develop and create and cultivate conducive, productive, and healthy work environments. So super excited about that. Just wanted to put that plug in there. But today, for the sake of this, it's not a long clip. It's about approximately 9 minutes or so. But we're just going to go ahead and jump right into this so that we can figure out some of the tips and tricks that they use in their relationship, which is, again, some of this stuff may be very anecdotal. Not something that can potentially be used across the board, but it's always good to find other perspectives, find other methodologies and viewpoints of people to figure out how they navigate their relationships. So let's go ahead and take a look at it as we provide commentary along the way.
Appreciate you for asking, buddy.
What's up, excellent angels?
What up?
So today we are talking about how to make your partner feel appreciated. Feeling really unappreciated. No, for real though. But today we are talking about appreciation and how to make your partner feel appreciated, because sometimes we going along and the appreciation gets a little
True.
low.
I mean, life gets busy.
All of this stuff,
Life
and
gets
nobody
busy.
is saying at least thank you.
Or they could be doing a lot for you, and you just don't appreciate them in general. You don't show appreciation.
Well, that's just
So
rude.
that's rude.
Okay, so what's tip number one?
So tip number one is ask how your partner feels. It's so simple, but you just gotta figure it out. You have to figure out like if the person is actually feeling some type of way.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can definitely agree with that. You know, we get super busy. Life gets in the way, especially when you got kids, you got multiple responsibilities. We just get on autopilot. And me and Nikki, you know, we've been there, done that. You know, we still battle that to this day. I don't think that's something that will ever go away. But you just have to be very intentional about this kind of stuff, that you just do not allow the busyness and the hustle and bustle of the day to get away from you, to where you just appreciating someone. So some of the things that I like to do throughout the day, I've said this before, Mondays I like to bring in fresh flowers because she likes that, just to show her that I see her. I'll send nice your little one-line emails, nothing long, just put something in the subject line while she's at work. I see you. I love you. Good morning. Hey, babe. You got this. You're amazing. I appreciate you. Just some type of little affirmations throughout the day, just to let the person know that you see them and you appreciate them. It don't have to be none extravagant. Bring home their favorite piece of candy. Go to the Dollar Tree, get a 50-cent card, and write a nice little note. Put a sticky note in their briefcase or her purse or something like that before she go out. Before you leave for work, get up and set up the coffee cup and put a little note on it, say, I love you, and while she getting a coffee. I mean, it's just so many little things that you can do to show that you care about somebody and show them that, I appreciate you and I see you and I have not forgotten about you in the midst of the hustle and bustle. Let's keep going.
Because you can feel like you're doing a lot to show appreciation, but they don't feel appreciated.
Ask and you shall find out. So what's tip number 2?
I would say tip number 2 is...
Now, that's another thing I want to point out real quick when they talk about when you're doing stuff for people, but they don't feel it. Now, we talk about this a lot on the show, that sometimes when we are showing appreciation or we're doing something for people, we're doing it from the perspective of how we receive it or how we want it. But we're not doing it from the perspective of the person of how they feel loved. So it could give us a false positive, thinking I'm doing stuff, but in actuality, I'm really not doing anything because the other person is not seeing it or recognizing it. And then we get in our own brain, well, I'm doing all this, and this person not even thanking me for me thanking them. And so it's this, this crazy cycle that we're getting on. And I got that terminology from Love and Respect. Dr. Eggerichs. That's a really good book. If y'all have not read that one, read that. He talks a lot about the crazy cycle. That's really good stuff. So yeah, let's keep moving.
To ask how someone is doing, not about appreciation specifically, but just we both have our own, or people have lived their own lives, and you don't always know about what's going on in somebody else's personal life, though you may see them all the time. So another part of that is just saying like, hey, how are you doing?
That's true.
How was work?
Work was good.
You went to that concert or you went to that meeting. How was it?
Both of them were lit.
Yeah? Thank you for telling us.
Thanks for asking. Appreciate you for asking, buddy. That's all I wanted. I just wanted somebody to ask me the question.
You just wanted somebody to care. So,
tip number 3 is...
Well, let me pause it right there, because I know in today's society and culture, we tend to think about, men ain't got feelings. We got feelings just like y'all do, ladies. We want to be pursued. We want to be loved. We want to have that question asked of, how was your day? Now, I get it. Sometimes we done had a rough day where the world has just beat us down, and we don't want to talk about it, but y'all get that way too. So let's be real about this. We got to show grace and mercy on both sides. We just can't approach this thing one kind of way and think that when you ain't in the mood for talking, then he or she should respect that. But when they're not in the mood for talking, now it's a problem. It's World War III now, because I want to talk to you, I want to connect, but you ain't saying nothing because you feeling some kind of way, and now I'm all up in my feelings because you don't want to talk to me. Well, no, you got to read the room. And so, we giving each other that time, space, we're giving each other that grace to really understand there are certain moments and times and points of times to where people just really want to decompress sometimes and just want to veg out. And when they're ready, they'll let you know. But again, we can't use that to our, we can't abuse that and just expect the person whenever you ready, now they should be ready to engage you. No, it don't work like that. It's a two-way street. So on both sides of the aisle, we got to be very cautious, and we have to be cognitive about how we engage and show up and interact with people. We have to be this metacognition idea of thinking about your thinking. We have to be conscious about how we're thinking about stuff and how we are showing up and engaging. Let's keep going.
2, listen. And not just listen actively. Which means that you're able to paraphrase what that person has told you and even give your input on it.
If necessary.
If necessary, because they may not ask for your input.
Don't.
That's a big one. If necessary, I told y'all quite a few times what I do sometimes when I'm entering into a conversation with Nikki, and this is in regards to chapter 9 when I talk about shut up and listen. Sometimes I ask her, do you want me to listen for the perspective of just hearing you out for just general information? Do you want me to listen because you just want to vent and get this out? Do you want me to listen for me to process, to provide just generalized feedback? Or do you want me to listen because you want your man to fix it? So if you are not clear and you don't tell me how I'm supposed to listen, then I could be listening to get ready to fix it, and I'm not listening just to absorb what you're saying because you just want to say it. And that way, once you're saying it, putting it out in the open, that you're processing and you're rationalizing and you are fixing it within your own mind because you're able to articulate it and get it out. So be very clear with what you want your partner to do in the midst of that conversation. Do you want me to really just listen, or do you want me to listen for feedback, or do you want me to listen to provide a solution?
Respond saying, wow, that's crazy.
That's crazy. 'Cause that means you ain't been listening at all. Right?
Unless it really was.
If it was crazy, it was crazy. But you know the difference between damn, that's crazy.
I think that I'm not very great listener.
Well, you need to work on that.
That's funny because I heard a joke one time, and this dude was like, if you say these few terminologies or words or phrases, you can get through any conversation. And he was like, what? For real? That's crazy. So I thought that was real funny that if, you know, and we tried it too before, you know, just out of, you know, kicks and giggles, me and Nikki, we tried that. We had a conversation and we were just throwing that in there interchangeably. And it actually worked, but it was funny, but you can really get away with it. So let's keep going.
The reason why I think that I'm not a very good listener, which I should work on, is I'm a listener that waits for a turn to talk.
See? She
So I'm listening to you, but I'm like, ooh,
that was going in one ear right out the other.
but when they stop talking,
Don't let it be a sliver of life. Just slip a little foot in the door and take
but
off.
no, I'm gonna work on that too. So yeah, actively listen to your partner, and you do a great job at listening to me. Well, when you're not distracted, but most of the
Because
time,
if the game is on, might not be the right time to talk about
and
it.
usually I say, "Are you listening?" And he says, "No."
Thank you for asking that question too. Also ask and check in with the person if you're the talker.
And
Check
be
in and see if the
honest
person
if you're the listener.
Yeah, be honest if you're the listener. So check in as a
That's
talker.
good. That's good advice right there. I appreciate that. That's good.
Get an answer or
Be
ask a
honest.
question and make sure they're listening. And as a listener, like you said, be honest. I'm honest. I'll tell you if I'm not
Because that
listening.
might not be the right time for you to, for that person to actively listen to you. 'Cause
Yes, please be cautious about this. You just cannot approach the other person at any given moment and expect them to be tuned in to what you're saying. Just because you're ready to talk don't mean that they are. You come and approach the person when they watching one of their, you know it's one of their favorite shows, it's a new episode, it come on once a week, or you know they're feeling some kind of way, or if the cat, you know, he's watching the football game or the basketball game or hockey or whatever his sport is, and you want to come and start talking, and then you say, well, oh, this game is more important to me. See, that's where you messed up. You know, or even vice versa, when she's watching her shows, you know, one of the housewives or something like that, and she fully engaged, and you say, oh, well, so watching a housewife is more important than talking to me as your man. Well, no, that you came in disingenuous off the jump. You know, you knew this person was engaged in something else, and you want them to just completely shut off what they're doing and then engage and listen to you. Now, sure, there's a time and a place. There may be some important stuff that you got to talk about, but fam, we got to be very cautious and conscious, that metacognition, thinking about our thinking, and being very emotional aware, having this emotional intelligence, and being able to read the room and understanding your spouse, your girlfriend or your boyfriend. So we got to do some internal personal work on that as well. We just can't jump in people's face when we good and ready and expect the other person to be ready.
When he says that I'm not listening, I stop talking and I go and I talk
There you have it.
later.
And we'll have that conversation later on in the day. Tip number 4. What you got for us?
Show a little bit of respect.
R-E-S-P-C-T. I know what it means to her.
All right. That was disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
Show your partner respect with all aspects of life. Respect their time, respect their space, respect their opinions, respect their individuality. Just show your partner some respect. I mean, it's just that. Just be respectful.
It's that simple.
It's just that simple.
I have nothing to add. So for tip number 5, you need to find things to do together. So that's how serious I am. You need to find things to do together. So you should probably find some type of common ground with your partner. I mean, even if you haven't been together that long, you know some things that they like to do and some things that you like to do.
Be able to do things.
You should be able to do things together, but I'm just saying you might not enjoy the same activity. So I feel like you need to find some type of common activity that you like to do together and do it. Mm-hmm. And then in some cases, things that you don't like to do but your partner likes to do, try it.
Yeah.
If you don't like it afterwards, oh well, at least I tried it. But
Because I tried video games and I didn't like it.
and that's fine. Even though I'm gonna get you to play video games sometimes. You know what I'm saying? What about trying that you like? Everything. She put me on a lot.
Yeah.
She put me on a lot of things.
A lot of things.
And I'm open to a lot of it.
One of them that I can really think of is roller coasters. Like,
Oh, yeah.
we went to
I
Disney
didn't-
and he's like,
I mean,
even though Disney doesn't really have like a roller coaster, but they had one, and you know what he said? Where are the rest of the roller coasters?
I had been on roller coasters before that, but I just don't really like them. But
And I agree with that. You know, you got to get out of your box. You just can't say you do your thing and I do my thing. You got to have some type of common ground. I mean, even compromise. You know, Nikki and we both enjoy like vineyards. Exploration, exploring. She love. I mean, I'm more of like the social party type. She loves the event. She loves the experience of things. So even when we talk about birthdays, we both like celebrating the birthday, but it's in different ways. I'm fine with just having like a little get together to celebrate, but she wants to go and have something that she can remember for a lifetime of an experience. So we compromise in that area. Sometimes we do the party, sometimes we do the experience. So if her birthday is coming up, I know I need to lean towards something that has to deal with an experience. With me, she knows that it will lean more towards something dealing with like a party or a get together. So you learn your partner, and you compromise, and you find things to do together that will be able to be compromising. I fully agree with what they're saying right here. Try different things, learn the other person, and get out of your comfort zone, because you might very well like what they like, not everything, but you don't know unless you try it. And it's a great bonding experience.
it rekindled my joy for them.
I could run down a whole list.
Stuff, man. Ice skates.
I have just enhanced his life. You're welcome.
Thank you.
This is a good one.
They're all good.
Really put you in the right moment and mode to show your partner some appreciation.
What is it?
Finding out their love language. This is like, you're gonna be set. Once you get the love language, they're gonna be loving you forever.
And ever.
Well, we took the love language test, the 5 love languages. So if you haven't done that, you should check it out to find out what your love language is. My love language is quality time. I can just spend time with my all day. You are very good at spending a ton of time with me, but you're a person that needs space, and I don't.
Yeah, I need some space at some point. I like spending time with you. I gotta have my own time.
Let me know if y'all feel the same way. I don't think that it's weird, and I'm very happy that he's a person that understands that that's just how I am. Now, it's not like
I mean, that's good that they understand it, that they're on the same page with this, that they realize that, you know, he accommodates, but he still needs his own time.
Now, I get tired of people.
You probably just enjoy your time more when I'm around, because I make it that more enjoyable.
My love language is acts of service,
That's what it is.
as well as receiving gifts. Now, I will admit, I'm not that great at giving gifts. I'm sorry.
Bad, man.
But
we gotta train you up.
But I'm really good at acts of service. I serve my man in all the ways.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that, y'all. Because I serve my woman too.
In all the ways.
All the ways. You feel me though? So ain't nothing wrong with serving your person.
Dang, why you gotta get so tough about it?
People be getting all mad like, I ain't serving.
All right.
Well, that's a good point. Serving one another, it should be reciprocated. You know, and that just shows a way of appreciation. And I get people say, well, I'm not going to do this unless the other person does that. But how about if the other person doesn't realize or understand how to do it? Then somebody's got to show them how to do it. So, you know, I'm glad that they're on the same page. They're talking these things through. They are showing each other grace and mercy. They're showing each other respect. They're getting out of their comfort zones. They're not being one-sided. They have shifted their paradigm concerning this thing called relationships. And they're not just doing things or approaching the relationship by means of, I'm not getting this out of his. And they're doing things to really accommodate, to better to champion the other person and not just self-seeking.
Last one. Number 7. What is it?
It is. What shows more appreciation and throwing it down right, you know what I'm saying?
I don't really think we have to go into detail.
Nope.
Or watch our previous video that we recorded.
And don't just roll over and go to sleep. You better spoon after.
That's my favorite part. Well, I hope that you like these tips. Let us know what your...
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, you just don't want to, you know, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and then it's over. You know, and I will say the funniest, you know, I'm not going to get too, you know, personal with that, but you want to spend that quality time with the person, you know, after the fact. And again, we're talking about, you know, married couples here, because that is one of the, or if not the most intimate expression of your love and your care for somebody. You know, in that type of form, in that type of way. So you really want to make sure that the person understands that this is just not a ritual. It's not just an act or something that we're just going through the motions, but you're really engaging that person and you're focusing on the other person in the midst of that level of intimacy. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. God created it for a reason, you know, sure, procreation. But again, it's that oneness, that connection, that coming together. So that is something that should not be neglected. So that really there comes to the pretty much the end of you know, this segment here of what they're talking about concerning, you know, how to make your partner feel loved, how to make them feel wanted, how to make them feel desired, how to make them feel as if they are important, how to make them feel as if there is something meaningful. They mean something to you in their life, and they're putting forth the effort. They're making the stride. They're showing appreciation. So just don't think about what the other person is doing for you. Think about how do you show up in relationships, and how do you show other people that you appreciate them. And again, this goes beyond just the romantic or the spouse type. We're talking, on the job. We're talking, parental. We're talking friendship, platonic, work-related, acquaintances. How do you show appreciation to other people to let them know that I thank you for what you are doing for me and by me? And by all means, I just want to extend that type of gratitude towards you to let you know that I am grateful, I am thankful that you are in my life. And so, fam, as we continue to do this personal work on ourselves and we take this deep dive, this self-reflective look, it will help us to become better and show up and engage in our lives, in our homes, in our communities, in society, in our nation, and we can take this thing globally. So until next time, continue to think differently about relationships. Peace.